Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, still once again back at Minfilia, and let's see what's now. Off screen, I joined a guild because Blake here invited me, and not just a ninja invite. He actually sent me, "Hey, you want to join our guild? I saw you don't have one." And that is more than enough for me, at least for the time being. Self-management. So, about sylphs.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramuh.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramuh's existence is well documented, the sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
Awkward situation.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us?
Of course.
I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
Oh, also off screen, a few things. I tried to get my job that follows the gladiator, namely the paladin, but apparently I need to continue my main quest further to do that. Huh, didn't know that was a thing. And also, I leveled a bit of Minor here, level 30 right now. Oh, I haven't done the level 30 quest yet. Must say the rebalancing of the gatherers seems to have worked wonders here. I remember having to grind for eternity to get the gatherer levels, but this went very smoothly. We know far too little of the sylphs to lay any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the Scions once more if we are to... I beg pardon, this is a terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? Hail, adventurer. I bid you welcome to the Adder's Nest. Do you seek to entwine your destiny with a twin adder? Good day, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Ida and Papalimo, always a pleasure to see the two of you. My mind tells me you quest in the name of a science of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird taught us that the twin adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird thinks through. Not often you've heard that we are investigating the sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of a 12-foot home. The sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the elder Seatseer, who has no desire to see our people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The twin adder is of the same mind, and 'tis precisely for this reason that the sylph's relation to the primal Ramuh has raised a flag of warning among our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that the summoning of a primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry indeed. Do we strike at Ramuh or leave the sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where your Scions come in. The sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered, and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultural faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorne Hut. Our officers stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the sylphs. That should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorne Hut, was it? Why, I believe a ferry departing from Westshore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver indeed. Let's hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalimo. Okay, to the pier. That is right at the Lances Guild. Now you could also go for the central shroud and then into the east shroud if you want, but you have to get here anyway. Aye, the ferry docked at the base of this hill will carry you across the lake to the east shroud. Once you are sure, head due east and you shall find the Hawthorne Hut, without much trouble. The Hawthorns are most welcoming folks who have shown us no small measure of goodwill. Still, a bit of courtesy goes a long way. I would encourage you to stop by a full flower camp and introduce yourself to Rosa before you travel on. Street Bloom Pier. Lavender Beds is the housing area of Gridania. Oh, also off screen, I got the unlock for my chocobo. For my combat chocobo. That is down here in Camp Tranquil. In the South Shroud. There's the unlock quest with, what, about level 25, I guess? And then they send you here to Bentbranch Meadows, where you have to finish one quest, and then you can summon your chocobo as a combat companion with Geyser Greens. And I need to talk to Rosa Hawthorne. An adventurer! Thank you, 12, you couldn't have come at a more opportune time. Please, you must help us. Why, it's our bees. The poor little dears are under attack by a murderous swarm of hornets. This bee has our livelihood. You must save them. Killer Hornet Cloud. Don't try that at home, fighting hornets with a wooden paddle. Well, I guess it might work, but it's definitely not the best weapon against them. I'm far over leveled for this year. Thank you, friend. Finally our bees can make their honey in peace. I knew you were 12th sent the moment I laid eyes upon you. You traveled to our hut, you say, and would speak with a serpent officer there? There's one who goes by Amelane. He's a friend to Jocelyn's spire, but makes regular excursions to our hut. He's quite enamored with our honey and the tales of my husband, Rolfie. Though I found him to be tight-lipped around those he's unfamiliar with. Oh, I know what you might try. Why don't you take a jar of fresh honey to him? I reckon you'll find him more than talkative then. Indeed, I'm a line of a twin adder. Your face is unfamiliar to you have a present for me, you say. Yeah, fresh honey for you. A jar of Rosa's honey and freshly harvested to boot? You certainly know how to make a first impression, friend. Ah, so you are the adventurer of whom the commander spoke. Do forgive me for being curt. My stomach was rumbling something fierce. My word, this honey. Like liquid gold. Forgive me. You have come to discuss not honey but sylphs. For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. But trust, however, and they are as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more, you do well to speak to Rosa's husband here, Rolfie. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Come to learn a thing or two about the sylphs, has you? I'll tell you one thing. They're peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're beg pardon, friend. My memory just is not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. But I've shared my story with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. Okay. The sylphs, yes, father told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face ends up a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. Oh yeah, when I spoke, I believe last episode, about the Grand Company seals, I quickly forgot there are leve quests for the Grand Companies as well, that give Grand Company seals as reward. And later on you can turn in crafted items or old items you found in dungeons or stuff like that to in favor for company seals instead. That is also an option. But that is later once you have gained a few ranks. I believe you need to be lieutenant, 2nd rank or something like that. The sylphs, inveterate tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day they're drawing marble faces on our masks, the next they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Wolfe claims to harbor no ill will, but as there such pranks are no laughing matter. No levers, so not right now. Oh, my own memories. Yeah, I was just here. Of course I was. The quickest way to acquit the woman's heart might be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuff on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun. Or so Wolfe once told me. Okay, since I will be longer for here. Home point. Before I forget it again. I tend to do that. And then die and journey across half a world. Of course, hearing your stories, well, my stories has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting among their kind, and you do well to remember this. It just may help win the favor of our forest friends. Still there? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along Drat, what was it again? And Rosa and I were just speaking of a matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the comp. Her memory should prove more reliable than my own. Yeah, we're still in a realm reborn, and let's just say the questing here can be a tad annoying. At times at least. The story they tell is good, but how the quests are done here is at times a bit, it feels drawn out. A peace offering for the sylphs. I'd give you another jar of my honey, but I fear that wouldn't get you past their front doorstep, dear. No, their taste runs more to be unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milkwood? That's what we call the root of that most fiendish seedkin, the ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the imbiber. You'd not catch me dead trying the stuff, but the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen an ochu around the comp in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump in the grass the other day. Ready to stimulate it somehow, with some of this ember syrup, for example. You might be surprised of what comes out. Good luck. And there's an outfit. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Milkroot. Milkroot. But of course, those sylphs craft that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flaying of meat. The effect's just about the same as well. Anyway, a gift of milkroot will have the sylphs calling you a friend and sister the moment they lay eyes on it. Now let me wrap it up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. First contact. I've taken the liberty of wrapping your milkwood well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you from the god's awful stench. The sylphs love the stuff, but me? I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of a marble that put an end to my adventuring days. But I can tell you that story another time. You've more important matters to attend to, yes? The sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know they're kind at heart. They not shun when those intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flour meat with your name on it if you regale me with your adventuring tales. Ah, and before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Emmeline here would have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. It's good to see your knowledge of Sylphic culture is matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival to Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Comaxio. He has served as an intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion and has a close ear to his tribe's elder. I see that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that malodorous root the sylphs so adore. I have something of far greater import for you to deliver. A missive from the elder Seedseer herself. To summarize the letter's content in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, that would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the Ixal has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. Every time I pass here, flies annoy people. Walking One is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story, but this one expects no such thing. Walking One should go home and leave this one be. Yes, you now must use the dance emote. This one would welcome Walking One who moves like these ones. If Walking One would talk to this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so Walking One should speak with quick tongue. Walking One would bring gift to this one? Walking One is most kind. Walking One brings milkwood. Milkwood fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks. Gives many, many thanks. Walking One carries message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking One should not worry. Hello there. We are envoys from Gridania and we're here to treat with your people. Aye, we come to pay our respects to your elders and to learn from him more of your Lord Ramuh. Who are these ones? These Walking Ones come from Gridania? Walking One became a dancing one and brought milkwood, but Walking One tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder One is busy. Walking One should go home. Go home, you say? But the sylphs of Little Solace have always welcomed Gridanian envoys with open wings. The letter carried by Desiree is an oath of peace penned by the elder Seedseer herself. Still you would refuse us? This one's reasons are no business of Walking Ones. Elder One has no words for Gridania. Walking Ones waste everyone's time. Well, I never turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such rude welcome? Was Desiree's jig insufficiently jiggy? I'm as baffled as you, but something tells me recent events have our erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we have no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. Yeah. Status effect potions. So not status effect healing, but status effect causing potions. Say Desiree, are you in mood for dancing? That's right, dancing. You went through all that trouble to learn the Sylph's traditional greeting, but you've greeted hardly any of them. While you're at it, why not dance for the Gridanians around here as well? Why, if I were a Sylph, I'd be beside myself with delight to see an adventurer sharing my culture with her own kind. Me? Of course, I'd be happy to join. There go those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Leg cramps, huh? Walking One would be friend to these ones? This one is overjoyed, but this one keeps the ways of weaving a secret. Even if Walking One learned the secret, Walking One could not weave in the same way. That's some fine dancing, friend. Why, if you were half as tall and twice as green, I might have mistaken you for a sylph myself. Any mode, the sylphs are a peaceful folk. Approach them with an open mind and heart, and they'll open up to you in turn. Oh, Walking One knows Jolly Dance. Jolly Dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. Walking One has sprightly steps. This one is amused, but this one is still sleepy. Alexia. Walking One is a friend to these ones. Friendly like gracious elder one of a forest city. Knows how to dance into these ones' hearts. How charming. You fit right in here in Little Solace. Before one roll, such pleasantries will get you nowhere with the sylphs who dwell in the homeland. Magnificent. You'd make an excellent ambassador to Little Solace, friend. Mind you, not all sylphs are so welcoming to outsiders. Woodland sprites would gut you before you got your feet off the ground. This Walking One is dancing one. This one is always happy to see dancing ones. Desiree, would you like to hear the good news or the better news? The good news is that your lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all of Little Solace. Better news? Why, I've fully recovered from those accursed leg cramps. Onward to our next adventure. Desiree, as an adventurer, you're no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of a local populace can go from stranger to hero overnight. No doubt you see what I'm getting at. The sylphs who make their home in Little Solace do so, having been driven from their woodland home. Surely they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out troubled sylphs and see what might be done to ease their worries. A sound plan, would you not say? That said, the sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. You'd better off inquiring with Hera Imedia, of the Gridanians who reside here. She's most likely to be privy of a sylph's troubles. Ah, you've returned. Praise be to the elementals. I cannot express how happy I am to see an adventurer with a truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solace are sorely in need of aid. Pray hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solace wants for amenities, not least a stout set of defenses. Consequently, beasts from farms around are free to wander in and terrorize the hapless residents. If you could bound the sisgolins and gallnuts that roam these parts, 5 of each should suffice. The sylphs and I would be eternally grateful. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 5 brownie bushes as well? Brownie brushes as well? They play an important role in sylphic culture. I do not claim to know the details, and what with such feral beasts prowling the forest, they are not easy to come by. When you're done with the deeds, seek out Comaxio. He's slow to run to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost on him. My own experience speaks to this. Yeah, and currently there's a fate going on with rather this. No problem, I'm 15 level above the things. That respawn. He's over there. And if you watch, there in the distance, not approachable because here's the end of the map, is a Gallian fortress. Dancing One is still here. Dancing One can dance all day. This one's trust is not so easily earned. Dancing One brings brownie brushes for this one. This one can dye thread once more. This one is pleased. Dancing One kills the buzzy ones. This one hates bitey buzzy ones. Dancing One is kind. Too kind. Many walking ones come to these ones about, but few are friendly like Dancing One. Perhaps this one was wrong not trusting Dancing One after all. Okay, but we continue here next time. I think the episode is by now long enough. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.